Parked up there, so I drop down a fair bit. But here's the footpath. So done with the descent and now back on with the ascent. So this entire one is new to me. Sort of know it's been here all these years, but it's never really struck me to come and have a look. So I've got a free day, so today's the day. There is also allegedly an aircraft wreck around here somewhere, which I have no knowledge of, other than somebody I spoke to at Dustones was saying they'd happened across one, but I've not been able to find anything documented relating to it at the moment. So the chances of me just walking into it are slim to none, but come for a recce if no else. A fair bit of quarry workings and things, and a trig point up on top somewhere. Still in the quarry section on the ascent. Little man-made little hoochers. Trig points up above me, so I'm just wondering whether to sideswipe up that or carry on along the quarries and then come back to the trig, or whether I'll be able to oversee anything down here from up there if there's anything of interest. I'll just carry on along the bottom for a minute. So I've got a couple of potential ways up. As I just go over to the end and back, much of a muchness. Decent tea stop. Yeah, I should be able to either go up there or break up this side of this one and cut back, I think is the plan. That's up the sketchy a bit, not that sketchy really, quite grippy, but see what we see when we get on top here. Trig point. Oh, that's a bit of a bugger. Private land. No trespass, no public access. There's no gates or anything here. There's a gate, I think, on the next one, but it's got a sign up for there. Alright, just head back to the quarry edge then. So I've got overview. That's Chinley Churn more or less done. Just the quarry there and the trig points up there, but non-accessible, or not from that angle anyway. It's certainly a bit blowy. Cup of tea time while I've got this shelter. Might be a plan. Oh, that makes a difference, Jesus. Chinley Churn, just had a quick cup of tea on shelter. Got out of this wind a little bit. It's a cold wind, but it's also quite warm. What a blow. Okay, great. Definitely no drone. So yeah, got a decent 360 view from up here. So far so good. It's I suppose technically, is it White Peak this? There's a lot of farmland, so it sort of lends to White Peak, but we're on open access so far, but it's surrounded by fields and things. But where I'm heading, I say over here, I'm going to break left at some point, join a path below me and head over, I guess there, which is Lantern Pike, one of them two, that one I think. So over to there and then backtrack along the lower path. I think we're on the lee side of the hill as well, so the wind dropped quite dramatically. It was hella strong up on top. Proper blowy. It's calmed down a bit this side. So yeah, I come down to this, wherever this intersection is, hang a right, and I'll stay on that path then all the way down to the village that's down there. I don't know what it's called off the top of my head. Down the side of a reservoir, and then up onto, I guess, that dark brown hill there. Yeah, we have a mudfest. Up. Quick hop, skip and a jump. Oh, that wind drop is amazing. Makes it a decent, comfortable walk now. Proper blowy. Yeah, so I'll just come across the top there and down here. So there should be a path on my right, which you see, I'm actually on it, so no, I don't go through the gate. So I'll stay on this now, I think, for the next mile ish, and it'll curl me around and drop me down to, I think it's Channel. Could be mistaken on the village. I didn't really look at that bit. It's just a pass through to get onto the next section. I've seen one chap so far on Chinley Churn. He was coming the opposite direction and he took the low path as I was up on the high path. So other than him, not seen a soul. I think it's school holidays as well, isn't it, this fortnight, week, so possible busier, but not on this route. That's it, just come off the access land now onto tarmac, drop down into the intersect the road and the village, across the head of the reservoir. I think it's Penarm Bridle Way. Gotta go up across the road here and across the road up there, and then I think the path takes me along the base basically of the hill where the brown meets the green, so the hill meets the field basically. The path goes underneath there and then you can come across the far shoulder to get up onto the summit, and then along the ridge and drop back down to the path. So that bit's going to be sort of doubled up, but I'm not coming back up this way. I'll be going back around the other side of that. I'll say none of this I've done before, so it's all virgin. Still on this downhill, coming towards the road intersection. Then I've just got to pick my way through the village to get out the other side up there somewhere, and down to t-shirt. It's quite warm. I say we're out the up on top. It was warm but windy as windy thing. Now the wind's dropped, it's temperatures are certainly climbing, even though I'm going downhill kind of thing. So I'm not really exerting, but still warm. And I will be climbing shortly, so, but also might be more exposed to wind, so it'll be a bit of a balancing act. But at the moment the jumper's away. Station Road. Footpath here. This should drop me down to intersect another bit of a path crossing me, and there should be a reservoir below me, and the river set. There it is. Main trail, Lantern Pike, 1 mile. So we're heading up there. Just over the river set. Back on the ascent, I guess. Got to pick my way up a few paths to get onto the shoulder of Lantern Pike. People, I guess where they're turning is where I need to go. I think I can go left, right, or I can go right, left, right. There's that radio transmitter, so to come down that tarmac road there. Right, just come up from the reservoir there, came to this intersection. I had a choice of left or right, but that's something else I didn't see. But the right was no trespass, so I've gone left. All roads lead to Rome, and this is probably the default track, to be fair. So just up here, I should intersect the Pennine Bridleway, which goes left and right. I need to go right for now. I'll be coming back and going left on the return. Yeah, so I go right here. This should cross the road, carry on, and then when I come back, instead of going that way, I go that way. I guess there's a road here, and I'm just looking for the for a trail. It takes me left there, basically. Here he is, tarmac for a bit at least. Lantern Pike, half a mile. The only way is up. But I just took bug off for a minute. That was a decent slog up from the reservoir down there, constant up. So I'll just have a minute and then make the final ascent. So I've parked way over the other side of that. That crest up on the top there in the far distance, I believe is Chinley Churn trig point. So I couldn't get to that. It looks like you're trespassing to get up there from the direction I was coming from anyway, so I've had to abort that. So I've come along the top of that ridge, and then down around this ridge here, down that long path, which is tarmac basically from up there, down, past this reservoir, then up here. So I was going to go up there to the far end and come up that far shoulder of Lantern Pike, which is above me, and then come back down this way, but there's signage there saying keep to the authorised path, so I'm going to go up this way. If there is a path down that side, I'll take it. If not, I'll obviously backtrack this one and then carry on back to the car. So I say I've come over the top. The return leg takes me back, I think, along the base of that somewhere, and then I've got to climb back up to get to back to the car at that end. There's a quarry there. I think I have to take the access road what goes underneath it, so it's possibly that. I don't know if it's a road or if it's down as a footpath, but it might actually be a trail track, road track. But that looks like where I've got to go. over there, and then cut up the other side of that, and then break off again to get back to the road where the car is. I'll figure that out once I've figured this bit out. Approaching the summit of Lantern Pike. Summit of Lantern Pike. Cross there for some reason. Here's the cairn, trick point, whichever. In theory the path goes down that shoulder, which is where I'll be going back. So you got Harry Hut trick point over there, so it's Burnt Hill, over to Mill Hill to the Liberator, up the west end saddle of Kinder. The Sabres I say go over the top, Sandy Haze cuts around the top there, Kinder Downfall in the crease, along there Red Brook Scramble, over to Kinder Low Trig, Kinder Low End, that'll be Rush Up Edge, sorry, that'll be Brown Knoll, Mount Famine, South Head will be behind that. I came over here, which is Chinley Churn, and now on Lantern Pike. So I just have a minute here, drop back down there, which will put me on the lower flank path where I came up on, and then carry on down. And I think I'm going to go alongside that quarry there. So we're more or less at the turnaround point. Technically, if I go down this shoulder, that'll be the far point, and then it's all back from there. But yeah, Manchester's well illuminated. Jodrell Bank I think is there. I think I can see the dish sort of pointing off that way, but it's not really lit up too well. So Mow Cop and everything will be over there, and that's the main road what takes you through to Glossop, or that way to Hayfield and around to Chapel Only Frith as well. But just dropped off the summit and just dropping now, so that's the turnaround point, literally 20 metres behind me. So that's the far thing, so it's all back from here now. So get a clip on, so that's the main target sort of achieved, apart from Chinley Churn Trig, which I say looks like it's a trespass affair, so that's no good. But got to Lantern Pike, so I say now it's all back from here. It's all downhill for the next mile before I start ascending again, so I'll try and make a bit of ground up. So on this bridle way bit, so there's the cross. Obviously I went up behind that, and the cairn trig points just where that tree is more or less, so that's the summit up there. So now on this back leg, I'll intersect the gate shortly where I took the route up, and I'll close this bit of a loop, and then we're on a repeat for half a mile downhill back into the village, and then find the bridle way from there, which I say I think is that, which looks like a road, which is not ideal, but it's the way back. Yeah, so I just done the intended bit, just in reverse. I say I was going to go that way, up, over and back down this way, but then we're seeing that, I thought I'll play the game. So, but there was a path down that side. Obviously I weren't to know that until I got there, so I covered my bases. So that's that covers that little bit, and now say this next half a mile is a repeat, but downhill until I get to the village, and then figure it out from there. I've got to go down, I say, to where that gate was, where I came up past, and then carry on along there basically, but I'll check my navigation when I get to it. But for the moment it's all downhill from here. It's the backtrack section done. So I say the only repeat bit really is from that gate at Lantern Pike, where I went up down to here. I came up this path here, and then up. So that's probably about a mile of repeat, but the rest is all loop. So I came all that way, go back through here. This should drop me down to the road, I believe, and then I've just got to work up through the village. A little bit of road before I get onto the bridle way again, but again I'll have to figure that out when I get down there. Alright, so Lantern Pike, up there, down that access, mishmash through this village. Should put me onto the bridle way straight across the road. New Mills Road. Check my navigation just before I get too carried away, but this has got to be the correct route. There's that radio mast. I came the other side of that up onto Lantern Pike, and then just climbed up this. So it's like basically a road for little ways. Not a right slog, ongoing, sustained, up. But at least now it's levelled out a fair bit. So not too bad. I've got about 1.5 miles straight line back to the car. So my options now is left up there and then right, which bypasses this, or I'll walk this bit. That in theory is a little bit shorter as well, so I am going to do that. But the original plan was to go up there and then intersect a path going to my right. So that takes you down to New Mills. That comes to the end of Over the Hills Road. Sit careful, mate. About 200 or 300 metres and we're back at the motor. At the other end of that trail, if I'd have turned left, right, would have brought me down this path here and then intersected this road. I've just got a little triangle off, basically. A little bit further than advertised, 9.2 miles, 3 hours 44.